Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Divinity Original Sin 1 Enhanced Edition. In the last episode, Miss and Mr. have defeated a bunch of orcs on the beach. And we finished scouring the dungeon and we got attacked by an interesting guy named Rage Quinn. Now, however, I'm in the process of finding the tavern in order to pick up our first companion. Then...
Say, no one's around. You wouldn't raise a fuss if I, borrowed one of these fish, would you?
Borrow, indeed. I'll sooner meet a cat wizard than see that merchant repaid.
Come now, I'll be good for it, I swear!
Tell me about yourself?
Oh, my story's tired by now. I was happy enough, prosperous enough, before these lean times around Sicil began. Still, that doesn't waive a man's need to eat, you know.
Are you in a habit of stealing?
I never would have dreamt of resorting to petty theft during better times. But what choice have I got now? If it's steal or starve, I'll choose steal.
This is going to be interesting.
So what do you think? Should I snag a fish?
Sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
I'm not really sure what to do about this decision. I don't really condone stealing, but I don't know how much of what he says is true. Because here's the thing, why are you stealing from a merchant? You can just go fish. There's like fish rods all over the place and fish laying all over the place. You could just easily go to the docks and take a fish and just fry it. You know what? I'm gonna say the merchant has to eat too, you know. Leave the fish alone.
That merchant has to eat too, you know. Leave the fish alone.
Yeah, I agree with the guy too. The man needs to learn to stand on his own 2 feet.
Yes, you know what they say about giving a man a fish. This man should learn to stand on his own 2 feet.
I suppose you've got a point. Another day, another rumbling belly.
What I mean, just go fish. It's so easy.
That thief is free for now, but I wonder how long it'll be until his growling belly seduces him back onto the crooked path.
What did you think of that fish thief?
Thank you for making that would-be thief see reason. I only hope your instruction lasts. The last thing the plagued people of Sicil need is a thief among them.
I will take my leave. Oh, by the way, you also don't know, but your troubles are just beginning, because one thing I'm very known for is being the ultimate thief. Okay, so I found the first place I wanted to go to.
You there! A moment of your indulgence, if you please. You are the source hunter, are you not? The hero the whole of Sicil is abuzz about. The talk of the town. The juiciest grape on the grapevine. Such a pleasure to meet you. A delight. No, scratch that. It is so much more than a delight. It is an intervention of fate. Yes, that's it. Fate has put me on this very spot so I may tell you all about a most intriguing opportunity indeed.
And you are?
Mendius, at your service. What is my profession? Well, I'll tell you what it used to be, and that is a man of medicine. But what does a man of medicine do but mend what has first been broken? I saved lives, to be sure, but today I change them.
So about that opportunity you mentioned?
Oh, it's not merely an opportunity. It is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to become better. To become the full extent of the promise that is locked inside of each and every one of us. So first of all, let me ask you this question. Do you like adventure?
Of course I do. How could someone in my profession not? Although, to be honest, I'm also here to do my duty. Which is hardly the same as adventuring. At the moment, we're here to do our duties, though.
I'm here to do my duty, which is hardly the same as adventuring.
Agreed. Adventuring implies frivolity. Duty does not.
Agreed. Adventuring implies frivolity. duty does not.
Or frivolity, I guess.
You may tell yourself you dislike adventure, but the mud on your boots and the blood on your blades say otherwise. One wouldn't become a source hunter if one didn't relish the exhilaration of battle, the lust for hidden knowledge and secrets. Too bad your line of work comes with such measly recompense. Am I right? The wage of a mere soldier. Now, between you and me, tell me truthfully, don't you sometimes wish you could earn more?
Well, I can't say that I haven't, but to be honest, I'm more happy to be around other people, so I guess they do not interest me as much. At least I don't think it would interest these two. I doubt they can become that rich by hunting down sorcerers and such. I mean, technically yes, but on the other hand, you know, they are here to perform their duty.
Riches do not interest me much, actually.
Although I guess maybe he might not mind earning an extra penny here and there, but... Yeah, but I'm gonna stick with this.
Nor me. Wealth is but vanity.
Oh, but I know you're just being bashful. I bet that in your heart of hearts, your eyes water with joy when you discover yet another treasure during your travels.
Well, it happens, but it doesn't mean that treasure is everything in life.
Even so, my friend, matters of a pecuniary nature aside, what is life without variety, without spice? To be a source hunter must get frightfully dreary sometimes. Am I right? All those orders. Investigate this, retrieve that, and at the end of the day, what do you have to show for it? Wouldn't you prefer to call your own shots? Be your own boss?
Heavenly herring! Delicious!
It's better to lead than to follow, I guess.
It's better to lead than to follow. That much is true.
Better to be served than to serve. I concur.
Well spoken. Well said indeed. Life's too short to spend it doing someone else's bidding, am I right? Of course I am. And I could help you attain the dream, enact the change you deserve. And that is exactly why I am here. Why fate has put me right by the door to the King Crab, so that I could meet you and tell you about the marvel that is the Fabulous Five. The invitation to join is yours. Grab it.
Man, you sound like a fishy character. You're not worried about the undead out and about?
They call the undead a problem, my friend, but those who know the ways of the Fabulous Five see no problems. They see opportunities. An enterprising spirit can wrench riches from cold dead rocks, or from cold dead full stop.
Tell me more about the Fabulous Five.
Ah, the Fabulous Five. How I enjoy simply saying the words that describe the most illustrious and celebrated adventurers' guild in Rivellon. Our mission, to better the world. Our mantra, to better ourselves as we do so. To realize our dreams and cleanse our souls. You'd like nothing more than to enlist, wouldn't you? Of course you would. And you can. Of course, if you still have questions, I shall answer them to the best of my abilities. But if not, how about we get started?
So what is it that members of the Fabulous Five actually do?
What a gem of a question. Straight as an arrow, sharp as a switchblade. Most meritorious of you. Now then, to join the Fabulous Five is to join a fellowship, to join a fraternity, a sorority, a community. The title of Knight is bestowed upon you the moment you sign our waiver, and so it all begins. I shall be the one to give you your first contracts, and once the job is done, I shall see to it you get your fair share of the reward. Of course, should you spread the word, Should you propagate the gospel of the Fabulous Five and thereby draw new knights into our fellowship, you will get a share of the reward from their contracts too. Isn't that wonderful?
There must be a catch to this, I'm sure.
By now, the genial glow of the fellowship must have warmed your heart. It has, hasn't it? But did I say fellowship? I mean family. For like a family, we support one another, cheer one another, see each other through thick and thin, partake in glory and defeat, work hard, fulfill contracts, enlist new knights, and swiftly shall you rise through the ranks. You will better yourself. You will better Rivellon. You will make the stars shine all the brighter, and you'll get fabulously wealthy in the process. What's not to like?
I'm not sure if I want to enlist, but I guess why not? We'll see how shifty you are. If you're shifty, I'll expose you.
Of course, of course, of course. All you need to do is sign this waiver, and just like that, snap! You're part of the family. All I need is your lovely little autograph. What do you say?
Yeah, sure. Maybe.
Let's see.
Join a guild, better the world, earn a lot of gold. Yes, count me in.
And me. May all the riches in the world be ours.
It's so funny because I picked the dialogue options that were like, wealth is vanity. But I'm enlisting because there's a couple of reasons to do that. One of them is a quest. And also, we can find out how rotten the guild is. Because so far it sounds fishy.
Marvelous. Magnificent. Oh, but what am I saying? Fabulous is the word. You may not realize it yet, but your fortunes, your very life is about to change for the better. So let us not dilly-dally. To business. Your first assignment is ready and waiting if you're ready and willing.
So about my assignment?
Oh, it's a pretty straightforward task, this one. Now, in this town dwells a wizard. Ahu is his name, and he's a frightful eccentric. Scientific type, you know the kind. Favors reason over faith and all that. Not Fabulous Five material, him. His experimental weapons may keep a couple of skeletons away from the city, but many of his other researches failed, malfunctioned with tragic consequences. One of them was a big lumbering apparatus, a frightful automaton shaped like a giant made of steel. It was supposed to crush the undead by the dozens, piloted as it was by a trained legionnaire. But you can guess what happened. Did it become sentient? Was it cursed? Whatever the cause, the thing relieved itself of its pilot and headed north towards a network of caves. Now ask yourself, what if it comes back? It could smash the city walls and claim 100 lives before being subdued. Luckily, there are those in this world who belong to the Fabulous Five. The braves who eat such monstrosities for breakfast. Go, my friend. Find this wizard's abomination and claim your just reward from Mayor Cecil in the name of our hallowed guild. Easy money.
Okay, goodbye. I've spent a lot of time just talking to you.
Thank you to leave me be, you old bat.
Oh, you think you can speak that way to a... Well, suffice to say it, I've got my eye on you, Baron.
Have you ever had the
I
fortune
am
of
a duke,
challenging the fabled
potato
wizard
eating
of hunting?
peasant.
Ooh. But I need her.
Demon, back or I'll... Well, what's this? Oh, Medora, you lummox. 1,000 pardons, comrade. This old bear's edgier than a dodecahedron these days. I'll tell you, it sure does me good to set eyes on another of our order. From Academy West, aren't you? Give Captain Wartruce my regards next time you see him.
What did you say you were? I don't recognize you from the academy.
You wouldn't. I trained up in Academy North, after all. We don't cross paths with you Westies all that often, but it's always a pleasure when we do. Medora's the name. Retired, or so the Order keeps trying to tell me, but never out of commission. My hand to your cause and my sword at your side.
I hadn't heard of another source hunter being assigned to Cecile. What are you doing here?
Heavens hornets! That's quite a story, comrade. And come to think of it, one that might concern you. See, I'm here on, well, let's call it a loan from a town to the north of here. Hunter's Edge by name. There's been an attack there, comrade. Orcs. Not your run-of-the-mill savages either, but ones who've taken dark magic to new heights. What they want in Hunter's Edge, I can't say, but it's my responsibility to send them packing. Preferably with their horns in their suitcases and a knee-knocking fear of ever crossing paths with a sauce hunter again. I came south seeking the Legion's help, only to find it tied here in Cecile. They don't have a spare soldier to send northward, and even in my finest form, I can't clear the place of that many orcs without backup.
Orcs attacked your village. How did you manage to escape?
By the skin of my teeth, comrade. The savages were rounding up villagers when one of them activated a tripwire on our village wizard's property. Fortunately for me, that particular wizard has a penchant for things that go boom in the night. I managed to wrench free of my captor's grip and flee toward the forest. He pursued me for miles, but I'd lost him before I made it into the Cecile hinterlands.
What's your next plan of attack?
Well, comrade, I hadn't thought of it till you tapped my shoulder just now. But perhaps that's where you come in. I need a contingent I can trust if I'm to take back the town. And the way I see it, you could use reinforcements here in town. I've been scouting Cecile for some time now, and I believe I've sussed out sufficient intel to help solve the murder of the Counselor. With our minds and swords in tandem, we'll make short work of the perpetrator.
What evidence of source in Cecile have you found thus far?
More than I'd hoped, comrade. I don't know what in tarnation's gotten into the townsfolk here, but there's enough dark magic running roughshod to topple a small mountain. There's Mayor Cecil's doings for one, and the mysteries of our master Thaleron for another. And on top of it all, the feline menace is lurking at every hearth and shadow.
The feline menace. Yeah, she's talking about Arhu. Gosh. Well, first of all, tell me about the mayor.
Now, don't get me wrong. I think the mayor's a decent sort, even if he can't hear farther than the tip of his own nose. But from what I've heard whispered around the docks, the old guy's gotten himself mixed up in something not quite on this side of the law. I suspect an illegal source artifact or substance is at the root of it, but exactly what or who's given it to him, I can't say. And since I haven't technically been assigned to Cecile, I don't have the authority to interrogate him.
Interesting. Well, tell me about this Thaleron.
Fella seems like a humble doctor, but I bet my sword he's dealing in something darker than splints and tonics. A loose-lipped fishmonger let slip that she'd seen our good doctor scale the city wall on 2 separate occasions, well past midnight each time. What business could he have among the undead?
Also interesting.
Hardly the habit of an innocent healer, I'd say.
Well, tell me about the feline menace.
You mean you don't already know, comrade? Their kind can see in the dark. It ain't natural.
Oh my god. Oh, Medora. So that's your proposition. You help us here in Cecile, and we help you take back your home village thereafter?
Well, you know the old expression. 2's a tea party, 3's an invasion. I know this place like the back of my hand by now, and the orcs up north will be short work for a trained-up trio of source hunters.
It's a fantastic plan. With 3 source hunters working in tandem, we'll put an end to all evil bent against this fair land.
A fantastic plan. With 3 source hunters working in tandem, we'll put an end to all the evils bent against this fair land.
And I'm just gonna agree.
Another source hunter on the team will make us all the more formidable against this wicked magic. Welcome aboard, Medora.
That's the spirit. Listen closely now. Do you hear it? That's the sound of every orc and sorcerer in a 100-mile radius, shaking in his wee boots.
I didn't hear anything, but if you say so. Now, let's skedaddle right out of here, because we need to pick up the other companion immediately. And he just happens to be, over here, I think.
I think that's only roast pig.
Ah, yes, of course. This time.
Oh, Maduro said, "Watch out, sniff, sniff, the fierce stench of frightened source goblin." And, Miss tells me, tell me about the, Oh, actually, no, it's not about that. I think I may have lost it. Oh, and then Mr. was actually, I think that's only roast pig. Boy. Medora, you paranoid lady. I'm gonna skip talking to all these lovely people. We have a mission. There he is.
Omnes autem mali demonis quam. What? What is this? Who are you to interrupt my musings? By Naga the Protector, they have the manners of boors, these boatmen of Sicil. Oh, but perhaps I spoke too soon. Perhaps I was mistaken. For you hardly resemble the local fisherfolk, which, incidentally, is a compliment of copious dimensions indeed. No, a source hunter, that is what you are. Yes, a stalker of sorcery, a chaser of charms pernicious. In truth, I cannot go so far as to say it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, for I take no pleasure in the company of man. But it may just be to our mutual advantage to join forces nonetheless.
Why would you want to join forces?
Why? Simply because you hunt source, and I, Jehan, hunt demons. You are aware, of course, that quite often both of these pests frequent the same shadowy pools of infamy. Now, I hate what I hunt, but I respect its cunning. Should I not, I'd have been decimated, body and soul, long since. This is a sentiment I'm quite certain you must recognize. Let there be strength in cunning, yes, but also in numbers. The calculus of wizardry I offer you. The might of the magician's mastermind. On one condition. That on our joint travels we will never deal with demonic entities, no matter how tempting their propositions. Give me your word on this, and I'll weave you spells.
Sure.
Very well. There will be no deals with demons.
Agreed. Nothing good ever came from bargaining with those devils anyway.
Most gratifying. I see you are firm of purpose, and thereby ready to descend. Descend into the madness that is sorcery, into the depths where demons dance. Gladly shall I follow you into the abyss. Onward, blood and triumph await.
Yes, blood and triumph await. Now, we got all our companions, although I realized my mistake. In the last episode, I sold a spare bow. And here's the thing, I plan to have Medora also be an archer. So essentially there's no fighters. I'm making 2 archers and 2 magicians. That's my plan. But anyway, the reason why I'm gathering them first and ignoring everyone else is because there's a bunch of time-sensitive quests in the area. Specifically 2. One of them, maybe I should do one of them first because it's quicker. I forgot. Where was the teleporting way shrine thing? I forgot how to use it. Do I actually have to go to a statue? Yeah, I do. Crap. Whatever. Whatever, we'll just walk. Am I at the right place? I don't remember. Ah, it is, yes. The reason why I quick saved is because I'm not sure how this is gonna go, but hopefully it's gonna go fantastic. Also, let me check in the controls. Maybe there's a button for toggling a way shrine. There was one, I remember, but... Equipment, homestead, skill, sneak, stats... Nah, not really. I must have been forgetting something. Anyway. So I guess the, oh, right, yes, I am forgetting stuff. The only way you can actually teleport is by actually accessing the shrine itself. Duh. I keep forgetting about it. Anyway, we need to go actually through this double door. And do you remember how I complained about hearing weird noises? So, that, fella is actually somewhere here. Ah, there they are.
This place reeks of orc stench.
Yes, and there's a charmed orc and 2 legionnaires, I guess.
Too bad indeed. Not even a skeptic like you can deny that she loves me.
An orc in love. Ha! When this little charm fades, she'll liberate the flesh from our faces.
Well, she will, probably.
Now, enough doom and gloom. Cast your gaze instead upon my fair, fanged filly.
Yeah, huh?
Ah, who better than a proven orc crusher to convince my dumbbell of a friend here that orcs are predators, not pets?
Enough of that. I know how dangerous an orc can be, but this one has been reformed. Anyone can see that she's completely docile, but my prejudiced friend here still wants to kill her.
Tell me about yourselves.
Maybe before the great orc raid we had time to indulge Ninius's idiotic obsessions. But now we're needed at our posts. I can hardly believe I've been wasting time protecting an orc when I should be running them through.
Sorry, I almost burst out laughing because she's like, oh! She's like making noises in the background. Like this one. And it's just like, it's just so funny, I don't know. Oh my god. Excuse me, continue please.
Excuse my friend's violent outbursts. He hasn't enjoyed a woman's touch in quite some time now. It makes him a bit edgy.
Your woman's touch is less of a loving caress and more of a claw shanked brutally through the throat. I'll take my chances as a bachelor, thanks.
What's this about a charmed orc?
My friend here and I were patrolling outside the city walls, when who did I see creeping along the shore but this lovely orcish lady? For a brief second, as long as eternity, we locked eyes. Perhaps confused by the butterflies in her stomach, she sprang up and began running, claws bared towards Marius. Fortunately for him, I had the presence of mind to ignore my sword and instead adroitly fling my pouch of trinkets towards her. A vial of love potion shattered over her head, and when she turned to face me, she became instantly enamored. I'm sure she must have been compelled to join the orcish army under some kind of duress. A lady with such a sweetly savage manner would never willingly join up with those vicious marauders.
Interesting.
I can assure you there wasn't a hint of sweetness in those murderous eyes when she lunged at my throat. She may be confined here for now, but who's telling when she'll escape and who she'll rip to shreds?
A love potion. Tell me more.
I've always had an amateur interest in all things alchemical. When I read in an esteemed periodical from the Wizards of Youthful Gore about an amazing opportunity that could change my life, I had to act fast or lose the once-in-a-lifetime deal. I sent away for the world-famous love potion, available for a limited time only, and it has worked exactly as promised.
You see what a fool my friend has been, spending all his cash on snake oil and bringing a temporarily tranquilized monster into our midst to boot.
What kind of monster would lie in a published advertisement? I'm sure the effects of the potion will be everlasting, as printed.
Actually, they never are, so...
You see, he'd believe it was noon at midnight if he read it on a printed pamphlet. Please tell me you can reason with him, or ditch reason and use your sword to save him from his murderous darling.
Well, to be honest, love potions aren't forever, so... And once it wears off, she'll kill them without a second thought, you'll need to put her down.
She's got to be put down. If this love potion is as dodgy as it sounds, she could come to her vicious senses at any time.
Agreed. I've never met an orc I trusted, charmed or not.
Glad to hear I'm not the only one with common sense around here. I'll do the honors myself.
No! She's harmless! Please!
She's not, man. You gotta wake up.
You bastard! You had no right!
No right to protect not only you from your own stupidity, but myself.
Yes,
and the
he's being
citizens
very
of
stupid.
Sicil
A
as
man in love with an orc? Bloomin' bullfrogs, is he blind, stupid, or both? It's a good thing you advised his friend to run the savage through. Imagine the hell-sent mongrel that would have crawled forth from that union.
Jeez.
Thank you, stranger.
It's hardly the union itself to which I'm opposed, merely that, if that love potion were off, you know, things would have happened terribly. And, oh my gosh, I gotta actually read the dialogues to figure out which one's is supposed to be the green one. That's right, love and let love, I say, but try to love someone who might not shred you to ribbons. Yes, that's the one.
Do you pair really believe, even in theory, that an orc might be capable of loving a human? Pah! I spit at the very idea.
Oh, you'll see, lady, you'll see.
An orc's heart knows no tenderness, no warmth. I suppose I could, perhaps, adjust that opinion if ever I met an orc who weren't savage, vicious, and rotten with source corruption. But until that day, I hold to my point.
Ah, lady. Oh my gosh. Everyone's different. I'm sure there must be a tribe of peaceful orcs somewhere in this world.
One day you'll show 'em all.
Okay, but anyway, I gotta get out of here now, quickly, and go upstairs back, just as quickly as I came downstairs. I need the market over here, and I believe I need to go to this house over here. So yeah, so the reason why I did that quest is that, if you don't do the orc one quick enough, she's gonna, you know, kill those legionnaires. Because the love potion wears off, it's not forever, and stuff like that. Plus, wouldn't that be kind of cruel towards her anyway? Because it's not like she's doing it out of her own personal willingness, so... And that guy's clearly insane, because, my god, if you in the battlefield think that she was looking at you with love, then you must be, out of your freaking mind. Welcome to Thalrun's House of Healing, a better life awaits. Which one, the afterlife? Gosh, that was morbid.
Make your case.
I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm on time, thank God. So I'm not sure who I speak to first. I think to her.
Which of you is more deserving of life? Come, make your case. Excuse me, this is a private sick room. Who in the name of the Seven do you think you are barging in here? Out, I say, right this instant.
Right during conversation. Tell me about yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's this task. I'm just... Who am I to meddle with life and death this way? I'm an apprentice of the healing arts. Healing! But this decision feels like precisely the opposite. I have but one healing stone, you see, and 2 direly wounded men who need it. I've been racking my brain trying to decide on the best method to settle this grave situation, but perhaps it's better off in the hands of an esteemed source hunter. Surely you are more accustomed to weighing life and death than I.
Tell me more about the patients.
What would you like to know?
I'd like to know more about Boris. Somehow I know his name.
One of the brave few willing to traverse the trade routes plagued by the undead. A young man, but excellent in matters of business, before he fell victim to an orcish club in the north, that is. Thankfully for him, a cattle trader found him, nearly dead, but not quite so, and brought him here straight away.
I'd like to know more about Stephen.
Quite the venerable staple of Sicile, Stephen, and recently blessed with his 3rd grandchild. He was leading a crew of builders when a stray beam struck him in the temple, and only a few days shy of his last day of work before retirement, no less. Nearly everyone in Sicile is familiar with Grinning Stephen, and, as you can imagine, he's quite dear to his family.
About your healing stone?
Yes, a curious relic indeed. I got it from a kindly abbot, Loic by name, in the northern town of Silver Glen. He is of a certain faith, the Immaculates, they call themselves, that espouses the belief that certain stones can heal wounded flesh. I myself was nothing if not skeptical of his claims, but something happened as he handed me the stone. A small cut on my finger instantly healed, leaving no trace of the wound. Needless to say, I was astounded. But it's strange. The stone is only good for a single use at a time before it reverts to a useless, inert state. It takes time to regain its magical properties, and I guard it cautiously.
I'll take my leave for now.
Don't dither long. These men are slipping ever closer toward the edge with each passing minute.
Yeah, I get it. Now, I think...
Please, these men don't have long.
I'll take my leave, I'll come back. Now, I think I have to talk to
What a relief
this guy.
to share the burden of this.
But if one were to reduce the quantity of skull dust by a percentage of 2, perhaps the stability could be increased by as much as 3-fold.
Oh, a source hunter. Imagine that. Quite a bit more petite than the last of your kind I encountered, aren't you? Yes, by nearly 20 centimeters of tibia, as my memory serves.
Thanks?
No matter. Even if it couldn't spare its heartier specimen, I'm sure the Order sent the individual with the next highest probability of success. Yeah?
Tell me about yourself.
Me? Why, I'm more than a little surprised you haven't heard of me. Perhaps I can jog your memory. It was I who cured the Duchess of Arata of her unslakable thirst. A simple pinch of Atropa belladonna in her morning tea. I who discovered that aging itself can be halted by a single application of Cicuta Douglasii on the tongue. Not to mention that it's been my guidance that has permitted my apprentice Evelyn to make quite a name for herself around Sicile of late.
So your apprentice has enjoyed some success?
Yes. If that's how we're referring to the secretive use of a revolutionary healing method she refuses to share with her own master. She's in the other room as we speak. Perhaps you can prevail upon her to offer a demonstration.
A revolutionary healing method. Can you elaborate?
She's gotten hold of a stone, supposedly capable of fantastic feats of healing, but she won't let me take the briefest look at it. But she claims to have gotten the relic from a little northern town, Silver Glen by name, and that an abbot there blessed it with the power to heal. Utter rubbish, I say. But with these blasted undead haunting the travel routes, I can hardly march up to Silver Glen to learn the truth myself.
Let's discuss your apprentice, Evelyn.
Well, she certainly possesses a critical eye and an exacting manner when it comes to making difficult medical decisions. I expect she'll be a very successful healer in her own right when the time comes. She is learning from the best, after all.
Let me ask you about affairs around Sicile.
Certainly, what would you like to know?
Do you know anything about Jakes' murder?
The counsellor. Terrible loss, that. Though we were hardly more than acquaintances, I knew him to be a devoted civil servant. From what I can tell, it seems to be a simple case of jealousy turned violent. The affairs of his wife, Esmeralda, were hardly a secret, you know.
Oh, okay, so she, wasn't really the most faithful companion. Got it. What can you tell me about the plague of undead? Sorry, as the people suffer in the background.
I've applied myself to that problem for 2 years and still haven't come a step closer to solving it. I declare it an act of the Almighty's, if I believed in such things. Some events, Source Hunter, can be neither controlled nor understood by mere men.
I see. Well, I'll take my leave.
A mysterious healing stone. Interesting indeed.
Nothing sets me on edge like inexplicable magic.
Yeah,
That relic of Evelyn's the so-called healing crystal. I've seen one like it before, and by the Patriarch's pockets. It's a relic of Source. One look at that gem will be enough to convince me it's no force of good, but a bloodstone through and through.
Tone, soothing a corpse's trouble.
I'm not sure if it is, though.
I've gotten far.
But, But to be honest, given that you think everything is Source, you'll probably find that my wands is Source as well. I'm gonna go with the last option, I guess.
Far.
So I'm the hunter who cried wolf, am I? Well, I only call him as I see him. And whether or not you choose to benefit from my considerable experience is your own matter.
Yeah, sure.
But hear you me, comrade. It sounds an awful lot like Bloodstone to me. And if I'm right, I wouldn't trust Cyseal's so-called healers any more than I'd trust a pyromancer on a wooden boat.
Yeah, so... Okay, so I think we can actually deal with this lady now. I'm gonna say straight away, I had to choose the dialogues the way they are, and I'm sorry, I didn't realize that they don't read certain dialogues when you're in conversation with your companions, but I had to choose them the way they are because some of the companions have their own personal quests, and Medora's have a bit of a complicating one, which requires you to have a certain set of very specific dialogue responses if you want a certain outcome for a quest. Plus, you need to have the forgiving trait on both of your characters. So yeah, so that's why I said the way I said this, and with the orc as well. Although granted, with the orc, it did align with my own views that, you know, the potion would have wore off and she would have killed the legionnaires.
What do you think? Would you like to learn more about the patients before making a decision?
Oh, did I ask her tell me about yourself? I don't remember.
In this moment, I do believe I'm the most pain-stricken soul in Cyseal. To choose so directly between two lives. Who am I to play the gods?
Cool, I'll take my leave, I know. Let me chat with them. Not enough space. I just wanted to chat with them, but I guess I can't.
To share. What do you think? Would you like to learn more about the patients?
Yeah,
before making a decision?
Or rather, can I ask you about the stone?
Yes, a cure. I myself.
Oh, never mind.
Strange.
It's the same.
You are? I thank you a million times for your help. Who have you decided should receive the healing stone?
Okay, I'm thinking about it, and I feel like... I'm not even sure, because Boris on one hand is young, his life hasn't even begun, but Steven has lived through most of it. He already has grandchildren, I think that's what she said. So they obviously, so most likely they'll have parents, I guess, who can take care of them. But we don't know if but we don't know because Boris, he's a traveler, so he, like, who's gonna tell his family that he died? They don't even know who he is, I guess. I guess we can give it to Boris.
Boris's life has just begun. We can't cut it short now. He should receive the stone.
Yes, Boris deserves to experience all the pleasures of life that Stephen has already enjoyed.
Boris it is? Yes, I'll deliver the stone. I'm glad we'll get to save one man, but my heart breaks for the other.
Can't I just heal him with Jahan? Where is he?
No, this is highly abnormal. What is this? Lightning.
Oh. What happened?
What happened? Is this a dream?
I don't think so. That stone, somehow it sent us flying into the stars.
Well, yes, we've been sent flying into the stars. Oh boy, well, Yes, we are somewhere in the universe, I guess. And interesting statues we have here. Oh, hey! Oh, I know you! Your name is familiar as well. After all, I've seen you in Dragonite Saga.
Terrible, terrible! It will consume us all!
Are you sure about that? What are you anguished about?
By the quill that lasts a billion words, what's this? 2 Rivellonians here? At the end of space and time? How very, very, very curious!
Who are you and how did you get here?
Oh yes, proper introductions. Zigzags the historian at your service. It is my job to record all that was, and is, and hopefully all that is to be. As for how I got here, well, for a historian appointed by the gods themselves, hopping to the end of time is as easy as 1, 2, 3. How you got here, though? That's a rather more interesting question. On such a tiny and rapidly shrinking vestige of space and time, I wouldn't have expected to find a soul but my own shadow.
Why is this place, as you say, shrinking?
Ah, at last a question I can answer most definitively. I mentioned already that this place is the end of time. If that didn't send your heart into your stomach and your pulse a-flutter, it should have. Time ought naturally to have no end at all. Indeed, I can think of no worse nightmare for a chronicler such as myself. But something totally, utterly terrible has happened.
How can time come to an end?
Show, don't tell, I always say. So go, peer through yonder looking lens and feast your soon-to-be terrified eyes on the darkness that is approaching.
Sure.
Maybe quite mad.
Then we had better appease him and have a look through the looking lens.
I guess so. But can I chat with you before?
Come now, don't be coy. Have a look through the looking lens. That's what looking lenses are for, you know? We'll talk more after you have seen.
Sure, but first of all, my god, you have beer and wine? I'll take it. Thanks. I'll also steal your pillows. Because I think you can extract feathers from them. I'm pretty sure. He has an empty bottle, but it's not the kind of bottle I want. Wow, your desk is really messy over here. Well, I guess might as well look. Oh, a dragon?
You looked. You saw.
Oh.
Terrifying, isn't... What's this? The portal. It's...
Where are you going?
The portal! It's quite sprung to life, just like the long, dormant flames that decorate this observatory. After all my waiting and hoping, could it be? You, dear stranger, you must be the key. Something about your presence here is causing the end of time to grow. The true end itself to move further away. Those torches, alight! This portal active once more. It cannot be coincidence.
Can we first discuss what we just witnessed through your looking lens?
Goodness me, how right you are. There's so much to take in, I'd nearly forgotten. And what you saw has been haunting my mind since I first discovered it. It is the void itself. The dragon that is devouring creation. When I speak of the end of time, this is exactly what I mean. I can't say for sure where it came from, how or why, but I do know this. It's shrinking our future by the second. And if we don't stop it, it will devour the past and present as well.
So, you believe we are somehow connected to this place? Considering that we've had some weird shenanigans happening around these weird stones and stuff?
It's not that I believe, it's that I have seen. Long have I been waiting here, hoping that one day this very portal would ignite. Then, no longer than a few mere moments after you arrive, zap it goes. The chronicler of time knows a pattern when he sees one.
What lies beyond this portal?
Ah, though I cannot say for certain, if it is what I believe, then our prayers might well be answered. In fact, every last question that ever plagues your noggin might well be answered, for I believe what lies beyond this portal is nothing other than... But why spoil the mystery? As soon as we leap through, we'll find out for certain.
Well, through the portal then.
After you, after you. Oh, what wonders we may find on the other side.
Okay.
You first, but don't dilly-dally.
I'll try.
Yes, just as I hoped. There she is. There it is. Come, don't delay.
And he's off.
It seems the imp is
Ready to advance, ready to defend.
Shit. I did not mean to press this. What did she say? Goddamn. Ready to advance? No, that was Medora. It seems the imp has spotted exactly who and what he'd hoped to find here. Okay, that's what Mr. said, but damn it, I did not mean to press on Medora. Grr. What do we have here? A bunch of portals. Yep, a bunch of inactive portals, I guess. Although this one is... I can interact with, for some reason. Refuses to work, though. Oh well, whatever. And I believe it's the same thing with here. Yeah, I think it's the same thing. Yep. Don't need to go there. Now, we have... inactive portals. 2 on each side. Okay. Well, let me loot these vases, I guess. Let's see.
I am the last chest, the last chest, the last chest! If you believe yourself worthy of rifling through my ample treasures, I do dare you to prove it! Find my 4 sisters, no more than one in each of the realms of your wide world, and each by each, you'll discover how to open me!
You're very enthusiastic. Okay. I guess I'll find out how to crack you open for whatever reason. I never actually managed to crack open this chest in my previous game, and I kind of didn't care to be honest, but...
Could it be, milady? The weaver of time? Mother of history? Author of all that has ever been?
Indeed, Sir Imp. As surely as you are he who chronicles all that I weave.
Astounding! Unbelievable! I have so many questions for you, so much to ask, so much to say.
You have brought guests, I see. Strange. Very strange guests.
My reaction exactly, milady. It was their arrival here at the end of time that instigated my finding you. But why? Surely you must know.
This is a question better put to our guests themselves. Tell us, how did you arrive upon this plane?
Well, 2 answers. 1, if you truly are the Weaver of Time, I imagine you already know the answer to that. Or 2, it was a stone. A strange stone that zapped us from where we stood in Rivellon to this plane among the stars. To be honest, I don't have really that many reasons to doubt that she's probably the Weaver of Time, considering that we're in the middle of somewhere in the cosmos. So, I guess I can just be straightforward.
A stone. So, it was a stone that caused the great shock of energy that brought you here, and it infused you with new life as well. Is that so?
Yes, that's just what happened. Have you seen it before?
Not like this, no. What happened to you is unique in all my work. Never had I experienced something so contrary to my nature. To weave something I had not seen, had not expected. Life does not simply spring into existence, you see. But yours has. You appeared before me from the moment you came into contact with that stone. Starstone. I now know it to be called.
But, Madam Weaver, how is it possible? Do you not see all? Have you not woven all that is and could ever be into your tapestry?
Like the stones, your guests are a mystery to me. I see them before me in this world, but their likenesses appeared not upon my tapestry until they revived the stone. Source hunters. It would seem that yourselves and Starstone are inextricably linked. Why and how, I cannot say, but I do believe that finding more stones will reveal to me who you yourselves truly are.
What is this Starstone exactly? Where does it come from?
Starstone is not what it seems, Source Hunter. Its true nature must be part of a greater secret, a secret lost even to me. Do you see what violence my work has suffered? What wounds lay upon the tapestry of time?
Mysteries of all time, gaps in history. Oh, how they've tormented me for eons.
I'd imagine. I mean, you do it for a living, I guess.
It would appear that Starstone transforms at your touch, granting me new thread by which to mend the tapestry. Thus, it restores time itself.
I see. What the void would shrink, Starstone restores.
Yes. Though I cannot explain why this Starstone is the antidote to the void's ravishment of our realm. If we do not restore time, if we do not discover the true nature of these stones, the void will consume us all.
Let's see, if these stones can heal history, we must seek them out, or we are source hunters of Rivellon. We have a mission that doesn't involve chasing down magical stones. To be honest though, your mission is irrelevant if the time itself ends. The entire existence collapses. There will be no you, no nobody, so might as well seek those stones.
Indeed you must, though I may not yet understand why. It seems that you and you alone can unlock the powers within Starstone. Yet we are not the only entities who know these stones to be so much more than pretty gems.
Why, of course, that's what they were doing. I have recorded their doings, you see. Collectors of Starstone, more and more by the day. Now I understand. They'd keep the stones from our reach. They'd prevent the mending of time.
Without these stones, Hunter, there will be no Rivellon. The entire tapestry will crumble. Even this plane will fall victim to the void's insatiable hunger.
That shall never be, milady. As sure as Zix comes before Zax, we will put a stop to it. First we mend the tapestry, then we stop the void. Please, our most mysterious guest, are you ready? Are you willing? Will you hunt out the stones? Will you help us restore what has been lost?
I guess?
What'll it be,
Hold on.
Not but a moment ago we were hunting Source in Rivellon. And now we're being told that we alone can prevent the end of time by way of some magical stones. What do you make of it?
Well, we can't deny our reaction to a starstone. There must be something to all of this, mad as it may seem. Yeah, I think this sounds more reasonable too, because it just doesn't happen for no reason. There must be an explanation.
We can't deny our reaction to Starstone. There must be something to all of this, mad as it may seem.
Let's see. Still, it's quite a leap from finding a strange stone to placing the world's salvation on our shoulder. It is a leap. I can't deny that. It is a leap.
Do tell.
However, if the Weaver tells the truth, then we have a work ahead of us.
No matter how improbable, anything is possible. If the Weaver tells the truth, we have some serious work ahead of us.
Yeah, well, you do, guys. Romantic. Okay, you guys are romantics.
What'll it be, Source Hunter? Do tell. The glint in your gaze and the set of your brow suggest to me that you've not given up on our dear old Rivellon. Not just yet. No, with you searching out Starstone, I believe we'll mend the tapestry in no time. We'll find out just who you are and how exactly to send the void back to wherever it came from. But you'll need a way to travel between Rivellon and this homestead, won't you? Who wouldn't want to see what fantastic changes your search will yield? And who knows what the Weaver might discover about you? Luckily, the power of portals is known to you, so I'll let you in on the little secret of how to transport back and forth from the end of time. Just, don't go sharing it around. Never know who we can trust these days. Off you go, then. You've Starstone to find, and I've a tapestry to examine. Surely there must be some clue here as to how on earth you're related to the end of time.
The Weaver of Time said our finding Starstones helps her weave the tapestry once more. How is that possible?
Cross my heart, hope to fade in the void, I honestly don't know. But ask her. If she claims it is so, perhaps she knows why.
I have some questions, actually.
Like the imp said to the ballista operator, shoot!
If I'm supposed to search for Starstone, it would be handy to know where to start looking.
Wouldn't it just? Would that I had a Starstone sightseeing guide, but alas, such a booklet does not exist.
Yeah, I know, right?
Just like yourselves, Starstones are curiously absent from history, both in my writings and on the Tapestry of Time. From what I can gather, though, they were once cherished by devious sorcerers whose reign ended long ago. The stones are therefore most likely to be found in the ancient places of this world. Ruins, caves, the lairs of long-forgotten evils. Those are the dens you should frequent. 2 more pieces of advice. Don't go unarmed, and consult with my agent.
You have an agent somewhere? Well, I guess we gotta talk to him. I still don't understand how Starstone and the Void Dragons are related.
Neither do I, but the mere fact that activated Starstone has set the Weaver of Time weaving again more than implies that it and the Void Dragon are natural enemies. This in turn more than implies that you are the Void's natural enemy, for it is you who is setting new events in motion. You who is handing the Weaver new threads. And that which she is weaving is more than an ornament to decorate the shelter plane. It is both history and future history. It is all of time. We may not understand the how yet, but our aim is clear. We shall save creation from the grip of the void. Now, isn't that a lovely mission?
Yeah, way to put so much pressure on Mr. and Mrs. shoulders. You say you are the imp historian, but you seem to be more than a mere imp and more than a mere historian.
Oh, I don't know if I'm more than those things per se, but having been given a divine mission does have its perks. Old age can't touch me, that's one. Immortality is mine as long as no one skewers me with a sword. And even then, I'll be back in a jiffy.
Oh, so you're really immortal. Man, that's handy, I guess.
But of course, I have a price to pay for something that is priceless. It is my duty to record all of history, and an arduous task that is. Not to mention how much stress that void out there is causing me. The end of time. I'll be out of a job. So, gather those star stones so that we may know the history that was lost. Know so that we must not repeat what leads us to this dangerous precipice, but do better and close the dark eye of the void forever.
Don't you find it somewhat lonesome being the sole chronicler of time?
Lonesome observing the frontier of creation? Surfing the vibrant tide of the eons, always approaching yet never reaching shore? Lonesome being privy to all that has been and all that is? Well, yes, actually. I don't mean to complain, but one certainly doesn't mind a bit of company now and then.
Yeah, I thought so.
Perhaps you can imagine the profound pleasure it is to have made the Weaver's acquaintance after all these years. I can hardly wait to pick her brain about the great battle of the Sons of Sigurd. The last Rivellonian who remembers it died more than 7,000 years ago.
I'll take my leave for you to muse about.
Before you go, Source Hunter, a final word. Once you return to Rivellon, there will be someone waiting for you. My agent, my eyes and ears upon your world. I hope he'll be able to help you as much as he can. Time, I need hardly remind you, is of the essence.
I got it, man, I got it. Just go back to your musings. Oh boy. Now, there's a lot of stuff that we haven't even talked about with this lady.
How welcome you are upon this realm, our most honored guest. I hope you begin to find this place more familiar than it may yet seem.
Please, tell me more about yourself, madam. I mean, I miss, so... This is gonna be very confusing indeed.
In the ethereal threads of eternity, do I record the deeds of gods and men, of beasts and spectral apparitions, the drift of continents through changing seas, the rise and fall of empires, the shift of every grain of sand on every beach, the fall of every raindrop on every world, the all but imperceptible touch of lovers' hands. This and all I chronicle without fault. Except, it seems, you.
There are some more questions I have for you.
Ask and I shall answer, if I can.
Who are you really?
I am the Weaver of Time, as I have told you. Though my existence is one that falls behind and yet far exceeds the verb to be. I am but what I am, and that is task. It is the same for the historian. Chroniclers both are we of the epics of eternity. Perhaps we are one and the same. Task multiplied by 2. Who has made us? I do not know. Why have they done so? I do not know. Am I the beginning? And am I to be the end? Who shall say? Perhaps I am the first thing in creation. Perhaps I am creation. Perhaps I am the creator. Or maybe it is you. You who makes dying stars rekindle. Time alone will tell.
Why is a starstone so important, and why does it react to me and my colleague alone?
Alas, the answers to those questions still elude me. You and Starstone remain the imperfections upon the tapestry. As yet, a hidden answer lies behind this veil of inscrutability, though. For the link between you and the stones reveals that your destinies are intertwined. I believe that star stones will not lead you to new places of wonder only. No. They will also lead to new knowledge through the restoration of the threads of old.
This may sound silly, but aren't you lonely out here?
Oh, Hunter. I have no need for company. Like I have no need for air or appetite or affection. All I need, and all I am, is time. And time is running out, unless you remedy its decline. And yet, I do enjoy your companionship, for you may prove to become the cure that will heal my slipping soul.
If I understand correctly, I'm not at all featured on the canvas of time.
Quite so. Your absence, it should be an impossibility, but no matter where I look, you cannot be found. I do not know you, which makes you my one perennial imperfection, a blind spot in the eye of time. But perchance I may be cured of this blindness. Perchance the blemish may be undone, and time can be redeemed.
I've heard this place called the End of Time. Is that what it is? No more, no less?
What it is but a seed bereft of sun and water. What it could be, that is what the star stones will tell us. What it is but the end. What it could be is the end of ends. I reside in another realm altogether. But ever since the End of Time appeared in these deep dark skies, I materialized here, as if forced to watch the one thing that is unwatchable, unendurable. A thankless task that you may yet free me from forever.
Interesting, so this is not originally her dwelling. So she completely comes from somewhere else entirely. How can I redeem time if, as you say, I'm not even part of it?
I think that perhaps you can redeem time, because you create time. Indeed, you have set in motion an event I no longer held possible. Know that no longer I did weave. I sat here, at the end of time, and watched on as the void frays the fabric of time like a terrified god that fears the offspring of his own creations. But suddenly there was you. You who stirred the life within the stones. These stones, children of stars, they place new ribbons along my fingers like phantoms out of time. New threads emerged, and I began to weave anew. Starstone gives me new strands to braid into the tapestry. And because you give Starstone energy, it seems that you are creating time. These Starstones, please, seek them so that time may yet be mended. Please, for the sake of all that lives and all that loves, seek them so that the void may yet devour itself alone.
I'll take my leave. Oh boy, that was quite the conversation we've had. Oh boy, so now instead of finding Chancellor Jix's murderer, we have to save the entire world. Well, that's pretty much how it always goes in video games, you know. You're just a wee lad somewhere in there, just minding your own business, and then suddenly, BAM! And you gotta save the universe from one thing or another. Ay, ay, ay. But anyway, I'm gonna have to end the episode. I exceeded far, far beyond what it should have been, all because I wanted to do those time-sensitive quests, and now we should be good to go to do more natural, exploration of the city of Syciel. And I think I'll probably start from the harbor, because there's some things that we can pick up quest-wise, and then we can progress back to the main center and stuff like that, and actually investigate Chancellor Jix's murder in more detail. So far, we've heard from Adora that Thelron is suspicious, and stuff like that, and she thinks that the apprentice had what she called a bloodstone, which apparently I guess is a bad sorcery magic, but in the end it ended up being a starstone, I guess, since it reacted to us. We'll see, I guess, we'll see. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this episode, and yeah, sorry for all that sort of like rushing about. It's just that Medora's questline specifically is very picky. Not only does your character needs to have the forgiving trait over here, which we haven't even acquired it yet, but you also need to pick certain set of dialogue options where you, in a way, you contradict Medora. And it did sound very rude the way it panned out at Teleron's place, because I do agree with her that there is something strange about those stones, because, I mean, I don't know a universe where you can just do things without any consequences or without any price to pay. So there must be something suspicious about the stone that Teleron's apprentice used, but I really wanted to respond also in a way so that I'll be able to, I guess, have a more tailored quest ending for Medora. I'm not telling you which one it is though, but you'll find out towards the end of the game, unfortunately. But it's mostly she and one other companion that you can find in this game that require for your character to have certain traits plus certain dialogue options. With Jahan, it's not really. With him, it's very straightforward and stuff like that. But anyway, thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye!